back to Super Zombie. Fuck. I forgot to post. I forgot to go to the Pokemon Center. I literally said it, and then didn't do it, and then started the next episode immediately. 3 seconds later, I forgot what I said. Well, I'm sure it's fine. Okay, whatever. It'll be fine. I wanted to... Sato, and welcome back to Super Zombie Player. Okay, yeah. I just wanted to keep telling you stories about when I did Taekwondo, if that's cool. One time, I don't think he watches these videos, so it's probably cool if I tell this story. That was a waste of a potion. I was, like, best friends and rivals with this dude, at my studio. Like, we were the same age, we were, like, we bonded. I don't remember why or how, probably because we were the same age, because, like, it's... You got people literally, like, 4 to 40... No, more than that, like... No, we even had, like, a 3-year-old at one point. Yeah, everyone from all ages, from, like, toddlers who can just barely walk to old people. Like, so, when you find somebody actually your age, then, you know, you kind of bond with them. Anyway, so one of my best friends and also my rival at the studio, I don't remember if I had a crush on him or not, but we were definitely, like, it was that, you know, sitcom cartoon, like, kind of, you're super close, but you're not really sure if you're friends or you want to be more, or because you're so young you don't really know what any of it means. Anyway, so we had a sparring match in class one day, and I had been wearing contacts at this point in my life, and he kicked me in the head so hard in this sparring match, he literally knocked the contact lens out of my eye, which I didn't fucking know was possible, especially with soft lenses. So that was an accomplishment, and that contact lens was now borked because you can't clean that and put it back in your eye when it's been on the floor and probably stepped on. So we had to stop the class while everybody went looking for this contact, and meanwhile I have one eye and can't do anything anymore, so I had to just leave. I'm gonna lose. Fuck. Yeah, and then he didn't really apologize or anything, like, at the time, and, like, I don't remember if we even found the lens, but it doesn't really matter. And so we go home, or we go our separate ways, right? And then later on that night, on AIM, because of course, on AIM, I get a message from him like, hey, sorry about what happened earlier, like, finally apologizing. And then he, like, super casual asks me out to be his girlfriend after kicking me in the face a couple of hours before that. And I'm like, wait, what is happening? This is all so sudden, like, what the fuck? And I'm like, alright, sure, I guess. Except, you know, when you're, like, 10 years old or whatever, it's not really boyfriend-girlfriend, you just don't understand what that means, and you just say that, you really mean, like, let's go hang out at the mall together with our parents as chaperones, which is exactly what we fucking did. We went on a quote-unquote date to the mall, and my mom dropped me off, and his mom dropped him off, and we walked around the mall for a hot second, and I don't think we even so much as held hands, let alone did anything like people do on dates. It was, you know, a dumb, adorable child date thing, and then that was pretty much it, and, like, we see each other in class the next day, and we start talking over AIM more, and, you know, being awkward as 10-year-olds who think they're dating are, and then, literally, a week after this whole exchange happens, after one quote-unquote date, I can't remember if he did it in person, I have such a bad memory, I think he did it in person, I think he had the spine to do it, he quote-unquote, again, dumped me, literally a week later. He's like, I don't think it's working out, we should see other people, or some shit like that. I'm like, dude, really? What was the point of all this? It's cool, though. Kevin, in the unlikely event you're watching this, you're cool, we're cool, it's fine. What else, man? Oh, dude! Fall intensive. Okay, this is gonna mean nothing to everybody except the handful of people, relatively speaking, who go to the same studio or went to the same... Okay, so we had this thing, I don't know if they're still doing it because I haven't been there in, God, like 8 years, but there used to be this thing called Fall Intensive. We would all pack up some camping gear and all of our uniforms, and this was where we got to do weapons training. So we had a bow, which is a big wooden staff, boken, which is a wooden sword, and eskrima sticks, I think they were called, which are like bamboo poles, and you have 2 of them. They're like thin and kind of short, and you whack each other with them, basically. Yeah, so you pack up all your shit, and we drove to this campground nearby. All of us piled into a bunch of different cars, and they had, at this campground, there were cabins and also like large open spaces where we could hold classes. So we did this to like spend 2 or 3 days, an entire weekend, just training and doing like special workshops, and sometimes there would be belt tests at the Fall Intensive camping weekend. It was really fun and really exciting and really intense. Like, it was definitely aptly named Fall Intensive. But, I mean, that sounds all well and good. Like, sounds like a retreat or whatever, except for the fact that they would literally... First of all, they would make the underbelts, the lower-ranked students, and especially the children, like, do stuff for the older people and the higher-ranked people. And also, you know, just like regular summer camp. And they would also, randomly during the night, without any of us having any prior knowledge of when it was going to happen, would come in, flick on the lights, start making noise, and wake us up to go to class. And we would have to... sometimes at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., whenever the fuck they wanted, they would wake us all up, and we would have to march down and go to class. It didn't matter if you couldn't function without sleep, and they would run classes, like, pretty late into the night, too. So, like, you didn't sleep that weekend, basically, because you were always, like, one eye open in case they came running, and if you didn't make it fast, if you didn't get dressed fast enough and make it into the classroom with everybody else, you would get, like, probably punished with push-ups or something, except that never happened to anybody because everybody was too scared to do that. Oh god, and like the older students who had maybe like back problems or joint problems or whatever, sleeping on the cots in the campground would just like not be able to get out of bed sometimes, and oh my god, it was intense. It was really fun as a kid. I imagine for the older folk it wasn't as fun, but they still did it. Everybody loved it. It was like this great bonding experience for everybody in the studio, and like you became a family. But also, I have a lot of trouble staying awake when I am tired. Like, some people you can pull an all-nighter and it's totally fine. Like, you might be a little loopy, but you can do it. I could not do it. I could not stay awake. We would literally, especially when we had belt tests in the camp, because you would have been up all night training the night before, and then early in the morning, after breakfast, you'd have to have, oh shit, you'd have to like get up and sit through a belt test and watch other people test, and if you were not testing as well and that adrenaline wasn't there, your body would then take the opportunity to have nap time without you wanting to. So oh god, I remember so many times I'd be sitting on the sidelines watching the test, and occasionally you would have to get up and participate, because if you were a higher ranking than the people testing, you would have to be their sparring partners during the test, and you wouldn't know if you were gonna get called or not. So I'd be sitting on the sidelines, like, doing that thing where your head kind of dips forward and you jolt back up, and oh gosh. And I remember sitting next to Kevin when that was happening, actually. Oh man, the shit I did. And like, and sometimes, because we trained barefoot, sometimes people would be so tired and disoriented that they'd forget to put shoes on, and they'd be walking on gravel barefoot to get to the place we were using as our training dojo. Oh man, but it was so fun! At the time, I definitely wouldn't want to do it now. I'd probably not make it out alive in my current shape. That's good times. So, you know, you never know what kind of experiences you're gonna- whoops, shit, I wanted to do that. You never know what kind of experiences are gonna end up being rewarding. I did it a couple of times, I think. Not like every single year. I did a smattering of the activities. Like I competed in like two tournaments, I think. Because we had our own invitational called the Eagle Classic. And in my first tournament that I competed in as a kid, the first year that I was at the studio, I competed and I won second place in forms. Like, BAM! So you see, I was good at it too. Yeah, I was. But then when I aged up and I had to go to the higher tier with the adults, because like the kids are broken down into really small age groups, but then it's just adults. So I was competing against like people who are really, really, really good at it, who like this is their career and they're sponsored and stuff. I know one of those people who like this is her whole life is competing in tournaments and world championships, and like I swear she could go to the Olympics one day. Shout out to Olivia's son if you ever see her on the TV on NBC's Olympic streams for martial arts one day. I used to train with her. She was an intense person. And she still is, I'm sure. Man, I kind of miss that place now. Maybe I'll go visit. And then they'll try and drag me into a class and then I'll be so embarrassingly out of shape it will just not go well at all. Man, but one thing I really miss about it, and this is so weird and specific, but one thing I really miss about it is, our uniform, the gi. When you were a kid, when you were a younger student, they would give you like a light cotton, flappy, wussy uniform. But then when you got older, you were strongly encouraged to upgrade to the heavy-duty, kind of canvas uniform. And the reason for that is that, it's more impressive, to be honest, like, cause it makes this wonderful popping sound when you really land a hit effectively. The weight of the material makes a certain sound, and that's how you know you did it right. And I really miss that sound. Like, fucking nobody watching this is gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about, but honestly, it's the little things. I wonder if I can find... Probably I can find clips of people doing forms or sparring or something and just hear that beautiful sound again, because I don't have my gi anymore. I have my belt still. It's in storage right now, but I still have it. My second Dan black belt with my name on it. Yeah. Yeah, I think it might have, I think my gi and my gear might have gotten thrown out because I think I left it in my old house when we moved, and probably it got dumped when the house was sold, and that's kind of sad. Now I'm sad. I made myself sad. It was a good run. For like 11 years or so I trained. It was a good run. It was hard as fuck, but, you know, if you're ever thinking you need something interesting to do with your time, or you don't want to go to the gym but you want to get a workout, try taking a self-defense class or something. It's very useful information to know, like, how to defend yourself, and also, it's a great workout, and you really, there's nothing quite like the camaraderie in being in a tight-knit martial arts studio. I don't know, there's just something about it. Then again, I've never even been to a gym, so who knows? Maybe that has that sense too. Why am I sucking so much? It's because I'm talking about fighting instead of actually fucking fighting. No, don't do that! What do you mean it doesn't affect Gengar? Ballsack. Wait, Lick. What the fuck, man? Why are you using so many X attacks? That's some bullshit. Bleh. It looks like he's winking because he's black and so is the Lick icon. Yeah. Except it also partially covers his other eye. Shit balls! Confused, right? Oh, no! Oh, I did it anyway. Woohoo! Did I win? I won! Hooray! Okay, that's enough stories about my martial arts days. I'm gonna go actually back to the Pokemon Center now, and we will finish this gym, quote-unquote gym, tomorrow. Peace, love, and geekdom. Goodbye!